Now, you've got 25 years experience in construction, right? So you started doing the federal work a couple years ago.
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Okay. And if you had been here 3 years ago, what do you think the difference would have been the last 3 years?
Oh, it would have been, well, probably made a lot more money than.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars?
More successful than what we've been.
So not having this training literally costs over $100,000.
Over 100, and it's just a mind changer, the way the game is played.
Now, you've been in construction for how many years? You told me 13 years, okay. How much of what you saw here the last couple of days, 3 days, was new and different, percentage-wise?
95%.
95%. The guys that were at the IRC summit that aren't aware of this, but they're the guys that signed up and the guys that didn't sign up, what would you tell them about your last 2.5 days here?
Just a complete paradigm shift. I'd always heard about government work, heard pros and cons, heard it's difficult to get into, heard it's more of a headache than, there's more of a pain associated with it than there is pleasure. You can find somebody like yourself to lock arms with, and have you lead me through the jungle, so to speak. That the return on the amount of time invested, the amount of resources invested, the amount of money invested in the government realm is exponentially greater than what I'm doing right now in the storm restoration realm.
Mm-hmm. Now, right after you signed up, I mean, I think it was, we talked when they say, hey, I really want to come, here's my credit card number, and I started getting phone calls. You guys were having problems, right?
5 minutes after we sent you the deposit, we started calling you, and you started helping us out immediately with two projects that we had ongoing that were headed towards a problem, but we were able to
turn those around
and,
real fast?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay. So you found us to be real responsive?
Absolutely. And there's really nobody out there teaching this. And there might be, but I'm thoroughly impressed with the course. I have no hesitation to recommend. Well, I don't know if I want to recommend.
You almost feel like if too many people knew this,
yeah,
that would make it more competitive. Okay. How would you compare the investment amount compared to the value? In other words, if it's worth what you paid for it, that'd be 1 to 1. If it's worth 10 times more, it'd be 10 to 1. What would you say that the value of this was compared to the investment?
Oh gosh, I don't know how to put a value on it. How do you put a value on something that you could potentially make, millions of dollars in, 100, 1,000 to 1?
If you want to do federal work, you need to make this investment, and it'll pay off. It's on your first contract, on your first change order, you'll make it up, because federal work is not it's not an easy thing to get into without having the knowledge, or you can lose your business very quickly.